Here's a guy that is starting to figure the game out.
I'm calling both games.
And here he is, having the time of his life.
That is a disgusting act.
Does he get both feet in right here at the end, Jim?
Let's ride. Let's ride. Let's ride.
Welcome back to episode 4 of the Rumplemen. It's the start of week 8 of the NFL season. Host Steven, joined with Wink and Alex as usual. We got a pretty packed episode for you guys, a couple of new topics. So I say we dive right on in. Let's get a review of our bets from week 7. I say we start off with Wink. He's on a hot streak right now. Let's hear how he's faring.
Yeah, so what I'll say about this is going forward, just fade every single one of my picks until further notice. That's my warning to you. When you make a pick against the spread and you're off by what was it, 30 points that the Ravens beat the Lions by.
29.
Yeah, it's time to
round up.
It's time to take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's when you push pedal to metal, dude.
Vegas got smashed. The Bucks didn't look very good either. So, yeah, like I said, until further notice, you could even do the opposite of what I say. That might be a play. And otherwise, yeah, just don't listen to me because it's not working. But we'll heat up soon. We gotta wait it out.
So is the model officially dead and gone? Are you not following that anymore?
The model wasn't used last week.
Okay.
So that might be a thing I could try next week is run the model and we'll just take the opposite of that and maybe that'll work. But we're gonna give it one more go this week with no pressure on the line because I don't want anyone to follow these picks. And then if they do well, then listen to me the week after. But until further notice, listen to Alex or Steve, and that's the only time you'll ever hear me say that in my life.
Wow.
I was about to say, yeah, you don't say that often, especially when it comes to gambling.
Wow.
Not basketball though. Don't listen to Steve.
Me and you are 5-4 on the season though, Steve. So we're keeping we're keeping our subs in the money.
Keeping it
positive.
positive.
Hopefully they're just going half units on Wink's bets and full units on ours, and then they'll hopefully be in the money. Yeah. Currently up 0.5 units up for both of us. You went 3-0 last week with all your over unders. Are you taking that strategy again this week?
So here's the thing. I was 3-0 last week, but the reason I picked those overs was completely wrong. I picked the Pats Bills over because I thought the Bills were going to come in and blow them out. They lost, but the over still hit, so can't complain too much. I thought the Ravens Lions game was going to be a close 3-point game. I said it was going to be like a 24-21 game, something like that. That did not happen at all. I was actually very nervous that over was not going to hit. Yeah. So when the game first started and the Ravens scored like 14 points in like the first quarter, I was like, this is the easiest over I've ever seen in my entire life. And then the Lions just proceeded to go 3-and-out on every single drive. I think into the third quarter, they finally put up some points. I was very nervous that was not going to hit. Packers Broncos, I knew that was under all the way. Going into the halftime, it was 9-0. They caught fire in the second half, and it was getting a little dicey there. But they came through for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I was with Detroit +3, Miami +2, and Tampa Bay Atlanta under 38.5, going 1-2. So not bad, not good. But I'll take it. The only bet that I hated that I had in one of my bets was Pittsburgh +3, and it hit pretty easily. So, yeah. Gotta love it.
Yeah, the Steelers have been a sneaky good team.
I'm seeing it clear.
The moral of the story is even when our picks are right, they're for the wrong reasons. We're talking about.
Listen, I was 3-0 last week. I'm 4-2 the past 2 weeks, so I'm heating up a little bit. We'll see later on what my picks are this week, but we'll move on to the next topics. So I know you guys have been talking about this a little bit. You have a little bit more stronger opinions on it than me, but the refs have been a little dicey this year. There've been a lot of bad calls during some games, a lot of close calls that have been going
Yeah, they suck.
the opposite ways. I'll let Alex lead this off. I feel like he has a pretty strong take on it. But yeah, how the refs been this year for you?
I mean, I feel like overall, everybody kind of agrees that the refs have sucked the last 2 to 3 years, and just having too much of a hand in these games at the end of the game. I don't know if you guys watched the Colts Browns ending to that game, but that was awful.
Mhm.
Did you guys watch that at all or no?
I think I might have saw pieces of it on Red Zone, but not.
Unbelievable. We're on a football podcast. You guys don't even watch football.
I only watch certain games.
Unreal. Whatever. But anyway, I think it was 2nd and 10, something like that. And they sacked PJ Walker, sack fumble, Colts recovered, easy win. They called a bullshit illegal contact call. I'm pretty sure the ball was already fumbled at the time of the illegal contact. And they ended up getting the ball back. The next play, it might have been the next play after it, PJ Walker throws it 15 yards out of bounds, and they call a pass interference on a guy he was already out of bounds.
Okay, I'm thinking of a different game. There was a game like that was out of the back of the end zone, and it was the same thing. It was like miles out of bounds, and
they call it pass interference. It's like what? Like how do you you have too much power in this game. And then after that, the Browns tried they were. Oh my gosh, I was gonna pull my hair out the entire time, during their play calling. It's 38 seconds left. You have plenty of time, no timeouts. So I kind of agree with that. You have PJ Walker at the helm at the 1 yard line, 1st and goal. What would you do? What would you guys do?
1st and goal from the 1.
38 seconds left, no timeout.
QB sneak it right on in.
Okay, run. Wink.
38 seconds, no timeouts. I would probably
1st and goal.
I'm not running it.
You have to run it with PJ Walker. You have to.
I don't think so.
You absolutely have to, dude.
Because I mean,
you got 20 seconds to come up to the line at least, and then you can run pass plays. But you have to give it a shot at a run play.
I mean,
you said from the 1 yard line, right?
Either way, even if you wouldn't run it, it was from the 1 yard line, 1st and goal. Yeah. Either way, if you wouldn't have ran it, you would have went pass, correct?
Yeah.
They went pass, run.
They said, "Well, he's not winning this game with his arm."
What? So I get it at that point. It's 4th down, and you're gonna give up the ball anyway. But still, they got it.
I mean, that's the only thing with
they
that.
got it on the run.
Is at 4th down, you're not worried about the clock anymore because it's like you're scoring or you're not. So the same reason you'd run it on 1st down is why you'd run it on 4th down. Like if we think this is a better chance of scoring.
38 seconds left is plenty of time to run the ball at least one time.
You say 48 or 38?
38.
Okay. I mean, yeah,
it's plenty of time to run the ball.
They probably could have ran it once, but the problem with that too is if you're going to run it on 1st down, you don't want to clock it on 2nd down if you get stopped. So you have to have that pass play set up.
You have enough time in between plays that you could probably call because there was a penalty. It was a stop clock at that point.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You have to trust PJ Walker to be able to. This goes
back to last week and what I hate in simple IQ plays. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to run the ball, have another play in your head.
I do.
But these guys can't count to 5. So
I do get what you're saying. I feel like that's an indictment on the coach not trusting PJ Walker though, because if they run and don't get it,
I wouldn't either.
Exactly. You don't want him scrambling to get everyone into the right spot.
But I mean,
even the right play set up.
Even if you sneak it on 1st down, you don't get it. You can still clock it on 2nd down, then have 3rd and 4th down to try 2 pass plays. So like you still have a shot to do a couple pass plays.
Yeah, but you know,
because like a QB sneak's gonna take like 5-6 seconds.
Nah, it'd probably take
not to sneak it and clock it, especially at the end of the game. Like defenders try that dirty shit where they'll hold play.
Either way, we're going off topic right now. We're talking about the refs now. The refs suck, okay? And they have too much of a hand in the game. That this is the only sport where the refs have too much of an involvement in the endings of games. Mm-hmm. Way too much. Yeah. And it just goes back into everything's rigged. That's my excuse for everything when I lose bets and stuff.
Well, that's the problem.
I actually got saved by that because I had Browns in my survivor pool. So,
but I was gonna say, so that's the problem when a lot of penalties are judgment calls. Like
Yeah.
it's up to the ref to
It's all
decide.
subjective.
Like, yeah, it's like I think that's pass interference, or I think that's a kind of a dirty hit, especially with a lot of these like personal fouls on the quarterbacks, like hitting him late or like above the head, all that kind of stuff. Guy like slaps him
just
with
have a
the
guy
hand
in the
helmet.
booth.
Yeah,
Have a guy in the booth where it's like, hey, you might want to pick that flag up. That wasn't a good call. Okay, that's resolved right then and there.
well, I mean, if they have to do that for every single
Very
play,
easily
that
to
can
get
slow
around.
down the game pretty drastically.
No,
If
you
every
can't
play
just
has
phone
to
it
be
in. The
reviewed,
guy's watching every play.
but then it's up to his subjective opinion as well if he thinks it should be overturned.
So I feel like it's a few different problems. For
You sound
one,
like Roger Goodell.
for one,
Yeah.
refs never want to admit they're wrong. So like they tested that with the pass interference thing. Like it would be blatant pass interference, and they wouldn't change it after review because they didn't want to admit they're wrong. Two,
But like you don't see that in any other sport though.
No.
You don't see that in NHL, basketball, like anything like that. It's only football.
you see
So
issues.
weird.
You see issues with refs, but it's normally like a power thing. Like in basketball, the refs call techs all the time because they want to feel like they're in control. In baseball, umps will throw out players and call bad strike zones and just inconsistent. But football, I think they're bad, and I think the first reason is that the league tells them to like emphasize different things every year, and
Or every week.
it doesn't get translated. Like they'll just be like, one year they'll be like, stop calling holding, like offensive holding, and then everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Why?" Like I'm seeing this guy get mauled. Why aren't they calling holding? And they do that, but then different refs will call things that other refs don't, and then players don't know what they can and can't get away with. So one week they'll be the defense, like the DB will be grabbing and like holding guys the entire game. They won't call it, and the next week any jersey touch they'll call. So they never know like what they can and can't get away with. So I think it's just consistency, and it looks really bad when they mess up in big moments now because they're so inconsistent with how they call stuff.
They were mauling Addison on Monday night, mauling that guy. They were holding him literally every play.
I think it was the Eagles game. There was one play at the end where the receiver got like, it was like the most blatant like holding or PI I've ever seen, and it just like he grabbed his face mask. I forgot who the who it was.
Oh, I know
you
you're
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, are you talking about like they pulled his face mask and then back away from the line?
No,
talking about that?
This was like at the end of the route. Like the ball was already in the air, and I think it was underthrown a little bit, and it was Bradbury.
Yeah, it was Cedric Wilson, I think.
Yep.
He grabbed his face mask and like turned it, but
Yeah.
let go. And then they just like they're standing there like they're like, what is going on? And I'm like, nope, clean.
No.
And I think I had the Eagles line too, so I was like, thank you, but I was also like, that's such bullshit.
I felt the same exact way with the Browns.
Yeah,
Same
I was like,
exact
that
way.
is not like that was so obvious.
Yeah, so I think we're all on the same page that the refs
Yeah,
have
the
been
refs
kind of
suck.
poor this year. There's too much to like say what they can and can't do. But let's
We
move on to the
might have to
next
run
topic.
through these next two topics because
Yeah, a little
that
quick.
took a little bit.
So 49ers, Dolphins, and the Bills. 3 teams coming into this year you thought would have been the top 3 teams in the league, and they all lost last week. 49ers back-to-back losses against 2 teams that have not been playing too well. Bills lost to the Patriots. As I mentioned last week, I thought the Patriots got rolled over. I know Wink kind of had a theory that the Dolphins this cannot show up in big games, and they're not really a good team. They get exposed by better teams. So I'll let him take this one off first.
Yeah, I don't want to say they're not a good team because I think they are, but I think there's
They're overhyped.
There's a thing in the NFL when it comes to defending speed that if you're well coached, you can, and disciplined, you can mitigate that. And defenses that are well coached kind of do a better job like covering that. So when the Dolphins play teams that are bad, that are undisciplined, they get lost because there's 3 or 4 guys that run 4 threes on the field. And it's easy to turn that into a track race and just get blown out. But when they play teams that, sorry, my dog's being obnoxious. When they play teams that are that are well disciplined and kind of stick to their game plan, they have a hard time getting going and getting kind of those big explosive plays. And when they can't do that, I think they have a much harder time scoring. And then coupling that, I don't think their defense is very good. So that makes it harder for them to keep up with kind of some of those upper echelon teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when your offense kind of relies, like you say, on those big explosive plays or like the broken down plays, it's hard to be consistent when it comes to that. You can't rely on, Tyreek Hill getting a 60-yard bomb every single time to score your points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not to bring everything back to the Chiefs, but 2018, Mahomes' first year, that was kind of the thing. It was like these huge chunk plays. When teams adjusted the next year, there was like a 5-game stretch where they just couldn't move the ball. So not saying 2 is bad, but I think it's a lot harder when teams come up with a good game plan against that to kind of find other ways to move the ball and score.
So what do you guys think about for the 49ers? I'll let you go first, Alex, but two losses in back-to-back weeks against bad teams. Is this a sign of a decline, or are they just struggling right now?
Nah, we're gonna see this week because my boy is at the helm, fellas. He's finally gonna show himself. Sammy D, finally on a good team. Let's go. I'm so excited, dude. I hope he does good, just so Wink can eat his fist.
You know what it means, though, if he does bad, then that
if he does bad, it's over. My argument is done, and I'll agree to that. It's over. I agree, but I have high hopes for my boy. So, but no, I mean, like San Francisco, Purdy just looked bad.
2 weeks in a row.
I feel like that's kind of what you have to lean on with that. Minnesota has a decent defense, though. I didn't realize how they're not as bad as I thought they were. I should put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about decent defense, but they're not as bad as I thought they were. They were missing Debo, but you still got McCaffrey, Kittle, Ayuk. That should be plenty to win you a game. And then Purdy just looked bad. Like there is no really other way to say it. But I don't know. I don't think I'm not too worried about them because Minnesota just plays. I feel like they either play up to an opponent or down to an opponent. Their games are always close. They're never really blown out, and they're never really blowing out teams. But yeah, I think Minnesota can kind of run with anybody. But Bills suck, and I called that last week.
You did call it last week.
I called it.
I didn't really believe you. I thought they're gonna have a turnaround game, but
nah, dude. Josh Allen, man, dude is just a whiny baby.
Do you think they're gonna get better though? Like, do you think they're gonna find their stride and win that? I mean, it'd be tough to win the division with the Dolphins right now, but do you think that there'll be a playoff team this year?
When people say, do you think they are gonna find their stride? I feel like that the only way that works is when you have a team with new pieces, not with a team that's had the same pieces for 4, 5, 6 years. And you can't really ask, like, are they going to find their stride?
It's a valid point.
Because I mean, they've had the same team for now 3, 4 years, right? With Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen. Maybe the only other piece that's different is Cook, but they don't even use that guy. So that doesn't really matter.
I think to an extent, like when it comes to quarterbacks like Josh Allen, like you can tell that he's not playing at the level he has in the past. So I think if he's able to kind of get that form back and stop turning the ball over and play more consistent, they kind of everything runs through him. If he plays better, then they're going to play better.
He's always had turnover issues, though.
Yeah, but he's also played better than he is right now in the past.
He has, but this kind of just goes to show you can't rely on that kind of guy, because if you always have turnover issues, you're you'll be bad in either the divisional round, the championship game, or Super Bowl. Like there's not going to be a 3-game stretch where you're going to a guy with turnover issues is going to just shore up and be fine for those 3 games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's the problem with some of those teams. Like this, it's the same way with the Ravens. When they're playing well, they're they can beat anyone in the league, but it's just consistency. Like they don't play well enough to the point where you can take them seriously through a whole playoff run.
Yeah, I don't know. I think what I'm trying to say is that there's been a big enough sample size with the Bills, and they just haven't
They are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You're not really going to get much more out of them.
If you had to pick real quick though, who's going to win the AFC East? Which team?
Dolphins.
Yeah, I'd say Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm sure most people put the money on that. So,
But Sammy D.
But with that being said, I
Mm.
think the Dolphins are a great bet if they are minus odds in the first round of the playoffs to take whoever they're playing.
I think it's be a first round exit.
Yep.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So the Jacksonville Jaguars off to a quiet 5-2 start. Been playing some really good football recently. I think they're the clear favorite to win the AFC South this year. It's not a very strong division. But what do you guys think about the Jags so far this year? I'll let you go first, Wink.
I think they're one of those teams that they're not. The NFL is hard. Like you have to kind of put out of your mind the bad wins and kind of chalk them up as a win. So I don't think they've looked overly impressive this year, but they're 5-2, so can't really criticize them too much if they keep winning. I think a lot of people had them finishing, top 2 or 3 seeds in the AFC this year. So the fact that they're 5-2 isn't that surprising. It's just the way they've done it. But if they keep playing the way they are and racking up wins, like you said, the AFC South is not a good division. You got Titans, Texans, and who am I forgetting? Colts. So, that's 6 games they should win every year. So I could see them being a top 2-3 seed in the AFC come the end of the season.
It's kind of surprising that they've done this well with their biggest offseason acquisition and Ridley. Like he hasn't really been playing that well this year for him. The past couple of weeks, he hasn't really. I feel like he hasn't really shown up, and they're still performing.
I watched the was it the Thursday night game? They played on one of the primetime games the last few weeks, and he like it's weird. Lawrence doesn't even look his way.
Yeah.
Like his head was turned to the opposite side of the field the entire game. And you're right, it's bizarre because everyone was kind of hyped on him before the season, but he hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
I agree. Everything. when I saw that they were 5-2, I was a little surprised.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I put that on there. And their 2 losses were the Chiefs and the Texans, which are like legit losses. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll move into our new topic, the stat guess comparison. This is a topic brought up by Alex. He's going to give us the stats of 2 players, mystery players, and me and Wink are going to have to try and guess which that player is.
And the subs can comment below too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, wait, it's not live.
I was like, you're going to reveal the answer.
Sorry, subs. No. All right, so 2 wide receivers.
Still comment if you got it.
All right, 2 wide receivers. Okay. Both of them have 32 receptions. Both of them have 383 yards receiving. And both of them have 2 touchdowns each. Very identical players. Wide receiver 33, wide receiver 30 in fantasy. Yeah, I'll let you guys guess.
3 receptions, 300 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
32 receptions, 383 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Both of them have the same exact stats.
And you said these were like supposed to be high-profile players that have been playing kind of bad, I'm guessing.
I never said that. Those are your words. You can guess. I
have a feeling that's why you probably like did these guys because like you expect them to have more touchdowns.
Steve, maybe. I guess we'll see.
3 touchdowns. This is tougher than I thought.
Can I ask one follow-up question? Have they both played every game this season?
Yes, I made sure that like they both have the same amount of games too.
Well, not the same amount of games, but have they played every game?
Yes.
Okay.
They have the same amount of played games. That's what I meant.
2 touchdowns.
I'm gonna say one of them is this might be a completely dumb guess, but I'm gonna say one of them is Stefan Diggs.
No. No.
The only reason I was thinking that is because he has not been playing
Steve,
that
I
well
said
this
wide
year.
receiver 33 and wide receiver 30. You think Stephon Diggs is wide receiver
I don't know.
33?
I think like without it in front of me, it's hard. It's hard to say.
I have a guess. I think
Okay.
I'm gonna
Well,
guess.
you got one more guess too, Steve. So okay, like
I'm gonna guess one of them is Devontae Smith and one of them is Calvin Ridley.
okay. What's your other guess, Steve?
Oh, those are good ones.
You can guess the same one if you want.
I'm gonna say I have no idea. I'm gonna go with Adam Thielen.
What are you talking about, Steve?
Stop picking the best wide receivers in fantasy this year.
I was picking two random people.
I'm pretty sure Diggs had like two or three touchdown game like 2 weeks ago.
I have no idea.
Oh my god, that's great. Steve, you're not too good at this game.
It's harder than you think.
Don't guess two top 10 receivers. Oh, that's great. All right. Well, wait, you got one of them right. One of them is Devonta Smith, and the other one is Drake London.
I should have known Drake London, the guy on my team.
Which is kind of weird. Like, I feel like Drake, like wide receiver 30, is probably like not good in most people's eyes that like have drafted him in fantasy this year. Would you say? Have you been disappointed in him, Steve?
100%. I haven't 100%. I've been disappointed in him. I thought but for sure he was going to be much better than that.
He doesn't have he actually has decent stats throughout the season. I think he's just left a very bad taste in your mouth from the first couple of weeks where he had like 2 targets.
So yeah, I mean that week. No, he had 1 target week 1, and that was awful.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Then I benched him. Then I benched him week 2, and then week 2 he goes off for 67 yards and a touchdown. And I'm like, oh, he's back. So I play him. And then he goes two catches for 31 yards the following week. I'm just like, I can't win with this guy. I cannot win with him.
And then Devontae Smith has obviously been a very sore thought for Wink. I thought it was kind of weird that they both had the same exact stats.
That is bizarre. And to that point, the worst kind of player to have in fantasy is the kind that'll play really well one week and then put up 0 the next. We were talking about this earlier in a group chat, but you don't want to trade them because if you trade them, they're going to start going off for whoever you traded them to, and you don't want to bench them because they're going to blow up the second you put them on your bench.
Yep.
Mike Evans.
Yep. All right. Well, that was the first game. Great job, Steve.
Hey. That's why we have a second try. Come on, let's go.
Second try.
Guy number 2. I got this one.
All right. This is RBs. I have a little bit more stats on these guys. So it's RB14, RB15 on the year. They're separated by 0.2 points. So very identical. I'll just say the opportunities. And when I'm saying opportunities, it's receptions and rush attempts for these guys. The RB14 has 144 opportunities. Meanwhile, the RB15 only has 105. 144 is a lot, by the way.
So we don't get the splits between rushing attempts and receptions.
So with the 144 opportunity guy, he's had 118 rushing attempts and 26 receptions.
Okay,
and then the 105 opportunity guy has 88 rushing attempts and 17 receptions. Okay. And now back to and this is a little bit confusing, but I'm just going to read off the RB14 guy's stats. 118 attempts, 347 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 39 targets, which is outrageous. 215 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. And now for the other guy, 88 rushing attempts, 419 yards rushing, 1 rushing touchdown, 21 targets, 186 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown, 17 receptions.
There are 13.
So both of them very similar fantasy production. Have done it in 2 different ways. and one of them has had a lot more opportunity than the other. That's
And-
kind of what you have to decipher out of that.
Back to my question from the last one. They've both played the whole
Yes.
season. Okay.
By more opportunity, are you saying like one is the starter on the team and the other one is like a third down change of
That's
pace
for
back?
you. That's for you to question with yourself, Steve. I give you the opportunity numbers. I'm not going to say one's a starter, one's not, because I wouldn't do that.
I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey.
Gotta love your friends. I'm gonna say one of them is Joe Mixon.
One's Joe Mixon. Okay, what's your other one? So you're saying Joe Mixon was the guy who had the more opportunities, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and the other guy is who?
I gotta think about that one more. Wink can go for one.
Give me a second. I'm thinking. I'm racking my brain through the divisions right now.
Okay, well, while you guys are thinking, I'll also give you this. One guy, the guy with the more opportunities, he was like projected to be a top guy. Meanwhile, the other guy was a little I would say he wasn't projected to be a top guy, but he had a high ceiling outlook during drought time. Separated by 0.2 points.
Is the other one like
No more questions, Steve.
Josh Jacobs?
Okay, so you're saying Joe Mixon and Josh Jacobs.
That's a good guess.
Yes, those are the two I'm guessing. I'm not sure which one's which, but those are both guys that were supposed to be pretty good this year that have been not playing too hot.
Okay. I'm going to say that one is Javonte Williams.
That'd be a pretty good one. He definitely had a high ceiling coming, or not high ceiling.
I don't think he's already 14 though, but I can't think of anyone else right now.
He's definitely outside the top 10, I'll tell you that. Guy on my team.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to say the one with more opportunity. Oh, the one with more opportunities, I think, is Najee Harris.
Okay, so you're saying Najee Harris and who's the other guy, Javonte?
No, the other guy I'm going to say
Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't think Jahmyr Gibbs has any touchdowns.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, let's go with Javonte Williams. I know that's not right.
Javonte Williams. Okay. You were way off, Wink.
What was I?
Najee Harris? Najee Harris is like RB like 30.
30.
Is he really? He's that
You
bad?
can't laugh, Steve. You can't laugh with your Thielen and Diggs guesses from last time.
I mean, hey.
But
yes.
It,
I feel like I just clocked who these people are. No, actually, never mind. You said they played the whole year. I thought it was Gus Edwards and Justice Hill, but
no, it's all good. So Steve got one of them. One of them is Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
So he was the guy with 144 opportunities. The other guy is James Cook, which is actually surprising because I feel like everybody looks at him like he hasn't really done much this season.
Yeah.
But he's the RB14 on 105 opportunities. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He only plays like 50% of snaps, but still, RB14, you can't really, or 15, sorry. Can't really get mad at that. But yeah.
That was harder than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie. Next week I'll have to do it. So you must see what the pressure is, Alex. It's tough.
I guarantee you, if you tell me he's wide receiver 30, I'm not going to guess Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs.
That was bad.
That was a little out of left field. I was under pressure. I didn't know what to do. First person that came to my head, I was like, Adam Thielen.
You know, people come to us for advice, Steve, now, right?
Betting advice.
Big-time YouTube stars, and you're guessing that Stephon Diggs is a wide receiver 30.
Huh. They come to us for betting advice,
dude.
which
we'll put a disclaimer up at the beginning of this episode and be like, Steve cannot give advice to save his life.
For fantasy. That's probably true.
Yeah.
So next topic, nonchalant player. It's kind of similar to the stat guess.
Nostalgic.
Dude, I have my font small so I can fit it all on one screen. Nostalgic player.
I'm bringing the heat today, Steve.
Rough episode for me. Kind of similar to the stat guess comparison. Wink is going to give us some details about a player, and we have to guess which player it is. So Wink, you can go ahead and start off for us.
All right, this is going to be a player that's played in the last 20 years.
That's a wide range.
Yeah, but it's a nostalgic player, so it's someone that you should.
Nonchalant. It's a nonchalant player.
It's our nonchalant player. Holy Steve. All right, so this player is a running. I'm going to give you five hints of this.
Okay.
This player is a running back. He was drafted by the Buccaneers in 1997.
Jesus.
He played for.
Don't you say last 20 years?
He played in the last 20 years.
Oh, okay.
Yep. He played for the Buccaneers and the Falcons. He played 12 years in the league, and he was a 3-time Pro Bowler.
I think I know who this is. 1997. Oh, that might be. Did he play with
drafted by the Bucks? You said
drafted by the Bucks. Yep.
Did he play with Mike Vick and the Falcons?
I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
Did he wear number 28?
You got your 5 hints.
Can we do we have one guess at it, or can we guess a couple different people?
You can each guess one player.
Oh, damn. Can me and Alex discuss it back and forth with mentioning names?
Yeah, go for it.
So off the top of my head, I'm thinking of Work Done. I think it was his name. But I could be completely wrong about that because I think 97 was a little before his time. But that was the first name I thought about when I heard Bucks and Falcons. Drafted by the Bucks. So what running backs are drafted by the Bucks? I know Cadillac Williams. I'm pretty sure he was drafted by the Bucks, right? Or he please play on the
Can
Bucks.
we ask what did he play the majority of his career? Which team?
Split half and half.
Okay, so that should be kind of easier. If he played for the Bucks, he had a 12-year career, so he was on the Falcons up until 2009, and that was before Turner, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think Turner ever played on the Buccaneers.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go by who was running for the Falcons at that time. Warren Dunn actually isn't a bad guess. Here, let me look it up real quick.
What a fun segment.
I mean, because what Falcons running backs made the Pro Bowl? And I know Dunn was a pretty good back for them.
He might have been with the Bucks when he was a Pro Bowler, though. So
that's true.
Who was the running back for Michael Vick? I don't even know that.
Dunn was the running back for him for a little bit. I don't think he was there the whole time.
Well, Warren Dunn he's definitely played for the Bucks too. Then,
yeah,
that's actually not bad. Yeah, we'll go with that. You want to go with that?
Yeah, let's go with it.
Warren Dunn.
You are correct.
Yes.
Let's go.
No, off the top of my head.
Let's go.
Steve,
All right,
strong rebound.
Okay, we'll put a season tally up too. So Wink is 0 for 1, 0 and 1.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's good.
We'll start that. We'll start that now.
Because then I'm just gonna put out really obscure players next week.
next week, I'm gonna be like, this guy played for a half season.
He was a backup running back his entire career.
Obscure chief that only I know.
Let's go.
I kind of like that one more than the stat guess, just because I don't remember people's stats too well. I remember player names, and
you don't really have to remember these stats though. It's it's happening now.
All right, so we're gonna jump right into the Week 8 bets. I know this is why all you guys tune back in for it. Trying to make some money off of us. I'll go first. First bet I'm going with Vikings versus Packers. I'm going with the Vikings spread -1. Thing you don't know about the Vikings, but they are 3-1 versus the spread this month. Love those odds. Big win over the 49ers. I think they're going to continue to be hot. And the Packers did not look too well against the Broncos last week. So I think the Vikings are going to continue to roll. Vikings -1. That's my first pick.
It's Minnesota versus Denver.
No, Green Bay.
No, Green Bay.
Oh, Green Bay.
Packers.
Sorry.
Yeah.
See, like you'd expect that line to be like Minnesota minus like 4, minus 5.
I thought I was going to
Why
be
is it
like
minus
3.
1?
I have no idea, but when I saw it, I was just like, I'm taking it.
I'm telling you that. Well, those kind of bets, it's always going to be the opposite.
That could definitely
Green
be a
Bay's going
trap
to blow
game.
them out by 20.
I have bad
trap
news
game.
for you. I have the same line. So what I'm going to do, since I don't want you to lose this bet, is I'm going to change it to something else.
No.
Oh God.
Wink, you're minus 1. Wink, Minnesota minus 1. Put it on the board.
Oh God.
No 3-0 for you this week, Steve. Haha, bitch.
All right, we got our 2 picks. What do you got, Alex?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Carolina plus 3. All right. I have been a Panthers fan my entire life. And this game is the perfect game where it's like Carolina has no shot. Write them off. Okay, they're 0-6. This team is not going to win the entire season. Houston coming in has a good season. Is having a good season, I should say. They're only favored by 3 points. What is this? I'm telling you, Carolina. I would take them outright, but I'm going to say the points for now. So Carolina plus 3. I'm telling you, it's going to be our game. I don't want it to be, but it's going to be our game.
So I'm gonna follow you up because I have Texans versus Carolina, but I'm taking the Texans spread. Houston,
I'm telling you, dude.
4-2 versus the spread this year. 4-0 versus the spread in the last 4 games.
Yeah, but you forgot about my mind stat. Okay, like I said, I've seen this before, Steve. I've seen it all the time. I've seen it, and it's gonna happen. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna. You know what?
Right?
Put 2 units on it. Put 2 units on it for my user, for my
I'm
subs.
just laughing because the way you introed that, you made it sound like the Panthers were like Rudy and they were going up against like the Chiefs or something, but you were like, no, everyone's counting us out. I'm taking the Panthers plus 3 versus the Houston Texans who won 2 games this year.
Telling you, dude, it's gonna happen. Go ahead, Wink. What's the second one?
All right. My second line, which kind of goes on my theory earlier, but also not. And also don't listen to me.
We don't like your theory, though. So.
The Patriots plus 9.5 at Miami. And my reasoning for that, I know the Patriots stink, but I think Belichick also can do a good job, especially in divisional games, of keeping those games close or close enough. So I kind of what I was saying earlier, I think the defense is going to be a little bit more disciplined, and I think Miami will win, but I think that the Patriots will be able to keep it within 10.
I mean, you saw last week with the Bills, Patriots played pretty well. And I mean, 9.5, that's a lot of points for a team to cover. So
yeah, I'm staying away from that game.
I would too.
Just because we picked it.
I would too.
My next one's going to be San Francisco, Denver, 45-point under. Going to say under for that game. Even though my boy Darnold's going to light up the scoreboard, I don't think Denver's going to put up too many points against that defense. So, yeah, I'm going under.
That's not bad. My last pick, Jets versus Giants. I am taking the Jets spread. It was originally like minus 2.5. I think it's up to 3 now. But similar stats to the Texans, 4-2 versus the spread this year. I think the Jets will come out with the win, and I think 3 points, they can cover that.
All right, my last one, and it's for similar reasons that Alex picked them last week, and they just seem to be in every game. I'm taking the Steelers plus 2.5 at home versus Jacksonville.
They're dogs, right?
Yeah, plus 2.5. Home dogs. So we talked about it earlier. Jacksonville, they've been winning, but not. It seems like everything's kind of like a grind. And Steelers just kind of seem to love this sort of game. So I think they'll either win or keep it within a few points.
Yep. And my last one, Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, 42 points over.
Ooh.
And that's only because the Steelers, they can't score points. They're like, in no game should they score more than 15 points. So everybody's going to be on the under, and this is where Vegas fucks you. That everybody goes under. So I'm going over. 42 points. I have no faith in it, but those are the bets that hit.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. There's the picks for the week. I knew that's what you guys all tuned in for. To close it out, we're going to do our signature SYSTIAC bet.
SYSTIAC.
SYSTIAC? So you're saying there's a chance?
SYSTIAC.
SYSTIAC.
Why can't you pronounce the T? SYSTIAC.
I have a speech impediment. It's not my fault.
SYSTIAC.
This I know you guys love these ones, so it has to be plus 350 or better. I guess I'll start off real quick. So we're going over 47 points in the Patriots-Dolphins game.
Hold on, real quick. I'm going to type it up.
Yep.
Steve. So Patriots,
Dolphins. Yep. New
Okay.
England, Miami over 47.
Okay.
Rams, Cowboys over 45.
Hold on. Over 45. Okay.
Jacksonville, Steelers, Jags minus 2.5.
Okay.
And then Colts versus the Saints. Colts +1. I was kind of surprised that the Colts were, underdogs a little bit in that game. I think they're the better team, but Minshew.
What are the odds on that?
Odds are plus 1196.
Okay. Q. Wink.
You're gonna love this one.
Oh god.
You're gonna absolutely love this one. All right, so it's a two. It's actually a DraftKings. Well, not a special, but it's listed under like the.
Oh my gosh, this guy took a special.
Oh, it's special. All right, we're going Desmond Ritter plus 250 passing yards and 1 rushing touchdown, plus 800.
50 passing yards and one rushing touchdown.
Plus 800. Titans have probably the worst passing defense in the league, and my boy Desmond, he's got some wheels on him. So,
oh man,
never wavered from the Desmond Ritter camp.
All right, well we'll throw that money away.
And I also have one other thing I'd like to say. Last week we all picked our daily fantasy picks, and as bad as my betting has been, my daily fantasy pick was 60 yards.
That's not on the docket, Wayne. That's not on the docket. We can't talk about that.
Christian Watson and whatever his name is, Osborne. I don't even know if they got a catch.
AJ. Osborne had 8 points in half-point PPR, and it would have been close to 10 in full-point PPR.
Watson didn't do shit.
So don't take my betting advice, but take my player advice. Take my Desmond Ritter advice.
Congrats, Wink. You offered one player in everybody's daily fantasy lineup.
Mm-hmm. So this one quick note. This is how bad of a betting Wink had. He picked the Bears to be the lowest scoring team, and they may have been the highest scoring team last week.
Lit it up.
Like over 30 points.
It's because they had Fields in that guy's ear the entire time. Fields is amazing at coaching, quarterbacking, everything, dude.
Bad player, great coach.
That's just
good player. Good player.
Apparently the Colorado School of Mines is better than the Las Vegas Raiders, so
yes. And my SYSTIAC bet of the week, I liked your lowest scoring team for Sunday, Wink. So I kind of did some diving in there. And I'm going Houston. Lowest scoring team, plus 3,500. Okay, I'm telling you, boys. I'm telling you, this is when our defense shows up. Burns is going to be all over Stroud.
Nobody's giving us a chance.
Nobody is. Nobody's giving us a chance, dude. They should blow us out by 30. It's not going to happen because they're not going to put up points, and they're going to be the lowest scoring team in the NFL on Sunday, plus 3,500 odds.
Wow. Okay. You heard it here first.
Absolutely, dude.
So we got to parlay that with Desmond Ritter to get 250 rushing touchdown.
Oh man!
All right, folks. Well, that's gonna do it for us for this week. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. Leave a couple comments below about anything we can do better or anything you want to hear about in the next episode, and we will get back to you next week.
See
ya.
We're out.
Oh, look, a bee-boo.